Second, let's look at the journey. They had used resources during their journey as they came upon continuous closed doors. Right? I mean, this was a long journey, 300 miles. They had used their time and whatever money they had and whatever hospitality they had, they used it up. Sometimes we think that we need to get to a destination to be part of the plan of God. But in the economy of God, the journey to get there is also part of the plan of God. It's not just the destination that is part of the plan of God. The journey to get there is also part of the plan of God. In fact, many times you may spend more time in the journey than in the destination. Sometimes you may never get to your destination. Your entire time will be in the journey. And we think, well, as soon as I'm done with this phase of my life, I'm going to get involved in the ministry. Right? As soon as I'm done with this phase, as soon as I'm done with paying off all my student loans, I'm going to do whatever I can in the ministry. As soon as my kids go to school, or as soon as I get done with this large phase, then I'm going to get involved in ministry. I'm going to do something that has eternal value. We understand that there are certain seasons of life when you're not available. If you have a newborn and you're up all night, yes, that's not a good time for ministry. You need to stay, or if you're newly married, or if you just got into school, or whatever the cause. There are certain circumstances when you have to take a break, and we get that. When I was in Kansas City, I was there for 7 years. Our work schedule, I worked 100 to 120 hours a week. 3 out of the 4 weekends, 2 to 3 out of the 4 weekends, I was working at the hospital there, and there was no time. So the most I could do at that time was preach once in 3 months at the church there. So I preached about 4 times a year. So we understand if you're going through that little phase where you need to get through. But sometimes we wait that entire long phase to be done to get involved in the ministry or to get involved in the things of God. Let me ask you a question. What are you not doing because you are waiting to reach somewhere? What are you not doing because you're waiting to reach somewhere? If we wait until we reach our destination to do things for God, you may never do anything for God.